morning, children. Wishing you most and more. Hope everyone are good. We are going through with sets, right? So for the past 1 week we are dealing with sets and its properties, and in the previous class we have started with operations on set, and we are going to continue with that operations. Let's quickly move on to today's topic. Before that, we'll see the learning objective of today's session. So end of this session, you'll be able to find the difference of two sets, and you'll be able to identify the disjoint sets. And the third one is you'll be able to apply the properties of operations. Maybe properties will be in detail, we'll deal in the next class, but you need to remember. So you'll be able to apply or recognize the properties. So these two are going to be the main objectives today. So you'll be able to find the difference and identify the disjoint sets. Let's quickly recall what was our previous class. We have started with sets and its representation. One was roster form, the other was set builder form, and we started with the operation. Initially it was about union. It is collection of all elements from the two sets given to you, set A and set B, without the repetition. And we have seen what is intersection of two sets. That is collection of the elements which are common to both the sets. That was intersection. So now just start with the third operation, which is difference of sets. So if you ask me what is the difference, same in general arithmetic operation, difference means what? We'll just subtract, right? So in sets also, if I say that A minus B, it means I have to write all elements of A, but the elements should not be in B. So exclusively the elements which are in A alone I will collect and write. If any element of A is an element of B, then I will leave that element. So A minus B means it is only element which belongs to the set A. If any common elements are there, I will just leave it. So it is like A minus B. The only exclusive elements of A alone I will write it in that set. That is known as A minus B. See, if you see the Venn diagram representation, you will get an idea. See, this is what is A minus B representation. A minus B means only the A part. I don't even want this common region, because here I have the contribution to B set also. Contribution of B set I have in this region. So I want exclusively the A elements. So this part alone I will shade. So this shading represents A minus B. Correct, children? So this is what is A minus B. In the reverse way also we can discuss what is B minus A. B minus A means it is elements of B but not in A. The exclusive elements of B alone we will write it. So this representation is for B minus A. So in set builder form we will write the difference like this. If it is A minus B, we will write that as all elements of X such that X should be an element of A. That is, X belongs to A, but X should not belongs to B. X does not belongs to B. This is the definition of A minus B. X should be an element of A, but it should not be an element of B. In the same way, for this also we can define B minus A. B minus A means X is an element which belongs to B, but that X should not be belongs to the set A. That is the definition of B minus A. Understood? So this is what is the difference operation. Let's quickly see some properties based on difference and that also. So operations of union and intersection. So we'll just quickly see this. These are all true properties for union and intersection. See the first one under union, we'll finish off all that. A union B is equal to B union A. The commutative property holds good in union operation. If I unite A and B, it is same as B and A. Okay, A union B equal to B union A. Second one is associative laws also holds good in sets. A union B union C. Bracket is there for the first two sets here, which is equal to A union B union C. I am just taking the brackets for the last two sets, B union C. This is true. Associative property also holds good, and law of identity also holds good. In the case of identity, we will deal with null set. So A union null set is A only, like how in addition property, law of identity for addition, 1 plus 0 is equal to 1. The same way, instead of 0 we'll take null set here. In sets we'll take null sets. So A union null set is equal to A only, because no elements are there here, only A will be your set. So here we will call that phi as an identity. Okay, identity element. Similarly, A union A, both are same set. If I unite, I will again end up with A. We will call this property as idempotent law. It will just end up with this uniqueness. Okay, idempotent means it will not change its identity. So that is what is this property. A union A is equal to A. This remains the same. Similarly, the universal set union any subset of it. Okay, A is a subset. If I take any universal set, whatever the set I am taking to that context, it will be treated as a subset. Now with universal set, if I unite any other subset of it, I will again end up with all elements. Universal set only will come. We will call this property as law of universe. Okay, so this is another law you need to remember. So these are the properties we need to remember when it comes to union. When it comes to intersection, the same thing. Whatever we have done with union, we'll just do with intersection. A intersection B is same as B intersection A. Commutative law. Again, associative law holds good, and the law of identity also holds good. Phi intersection A is again phi. But see here A union phi is A. We are uniting. Here we are identifying the common elements, intersection. So what will be the common element with null set and other set? Nothing. There won't be any common element. So the result will be a null set. Remember. So null set intersection any set will give you null set. Similarly, the universal set intersection A will give you only A as a common element. Whereas in union, you see U will come. Because we are uniting, all elements will come in that result. But here we are only finding the common element. So we will end up with only the set G. That will be the common element. That will be there in U also, right? So common element of U and A is A. So that is law of universe. Okay, phi and universal set. Idempotent again, if you find out the common element between the same set, okay, A and A only will be the result. Okay, this is idempotent law. Okay, and distributive law also holds good. This is for common. This is common for both union and intersection. A intersection B union C, I can just distribute this A over to this B union C. A intersection B union A intersection C. Okay, so this is distributive law. This also holds good. So whenever any kind of operations given to you like this, you can distribute it and then you can find out the answer. I think in the last class we have seen this kind of a question. We have first found what is B union C and then we found the intersection. You can do it like that, or else you can apply distributive property and then you can find out the answer. It's up to your convenience. So this distributive law also holds good. Please remember all these properties, children. We may need it when we solve the sums. Okay, or else all this can be expected to ask in the objective question. So remember, interesting properties, right? Yes. So again, then another one, symmetric difference. This is another property which you need to remember. Symmetric property means what is a symmetric of A and B? We'll just expand that property as A minus B union B minus A. We will just unite these two. That is what is symmetric difference of A and B. Symmetric difference means we'll just find out the difference and we'll make it as symmetry. A minus B symmetry, we'll make it as B minus A. So this is the symmetric difference. A difference B is equal to A minus B union B minus A. So if the question is find the symmetric difference between these two sets, if the question is like that, you will find out what is this. A minus B union B minus A, you will find out. What is A minus B, you have it, and what is B minus A, you find it and have it, and find out the union finally. Okay, that is the symmetric difference between any two sets. Now for example, you can see an example here. I am taking the universal set as this, A set as this, and B set. What is the symmetric difference, if you ask me? The symmetric difference is A minus B union B minus A. A minus B is, see, I'll just leave the common elements 1, 2, 3. Okay, and B minus A is, I'll just leave the common element again 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 I will unite. So if I unite, I will get 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So this is the symmetric difference between any two sets. Understood? So based on all this thing what we have seen so far, we are going to have a quick testing on those concepts. So quickly we'll find out all this. A minus B All sets are given to you, A, B, C, D sets are given to you. Find out A minus B. A is here, B is here. Just strike out the common elements which is there in B. A minus B means exclusive elements of A alone I have to write. See, if you see here, I have 12 which is common, so I will not take it into account. We have to see A as a major set now. From A, I have to subtract the common elements. I don't have any other elements common. So 12 alone is there, so I will leave this 12. Other elements I will take and write. So what will be the result? 3, 6, 9, 15, 18, 21. Similarly, A minus C. Now A is my major set. I will just subtract the elements of C in A. Okay, from A I will just subtract. Just tell me the answer quickly. What are the common elements you have? You have 12 as common elements, so I don't want that 12. And anything else? I have 6 is there in C also, so I don't want 6. Anything else? No, that's it. So 3, 9, 15, 18, 21. Got it? A minus D. A will be your major set now. Just eliminate the elements of D from A. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20 is there, so 15 alone will not come. All other elements will be there in this answer. 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 21. Got it? B minus A. So similarly, just from B, you just delete the elements of A. If you see that 4, 8, 12 will be there in this both the sets. So 12 will not come. 16, 20. 4, 8, 16, 20. C minus A. From C, just delete the elements of A. Okay, delete the elements of A. I have 6 common, I will delete it, and 12 common, so I will delete it. I will write the remaining elements. 2, 4, 8, 10, 14, 16. So understood what is the difference between any two sets? Super. So this is for you to try. The disjoint sets, I think I have discussed what is the disjoint set in the last class. Just we'll take few questions and discuss now. State whether these following pairs are disjoint. 1, 2, 3 and natural numbers between 4 and 6. 4 and 6 are included, say less than or equal to. So first you write the sets. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This set is 4, 5, 6. Disjoint means there should not be any common element, but if you see you have 4 as common, so which implies the sets are not disjoint. It has a common element, so not a disjoint set. We'll take another question. A, E, I, O, U, C, D, E, F. Do you have any common element? Yes, we have E as common, so it is not a disjoint set. Remember, disjoint set means there should not be any common element. It should be disjoint, no overlapping. Okay, that is what is disjoint. Third question. X is an even integer, X is an odd integer. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 1, 3, 5, 7. Will you get any common elements? Not at all. So I can say that this is an example for disjoint set. Understood? Super. So this is your turn. Just go through all these questions and tell me the answers. I'll be waiting for the answers in the mainstream. Just post your answers. First question is, you will say true or false, and you have to justify your answer by saying it has common element or you don't have common element, like that. Say whether these are disjoint sets or not. You have to say it is true or false. They are disjoint, like that given. And similarly, you need to identify the difference and you have to find out the intersection. Second question. Third question, if R is a set of all real numbers are there in R. Okay, real numbers. Okay, every number will be there in R. And Q is a set of all rational number. What is R minus Q? Okay, that you will tell me. This is R means collection of natural number, whole number, integers and rational number. This only is a collection of real numbers. Okay, now R minus Q. Q means it is all numbers, real numbers. Okay, sorry, all rational numbers. I am subtracting that. What are the elements will come in real numbers? And we have this circle as rational number, and we have another number which is called irrational number. This whole combination only is known as real numbers. Am I right? So from the real numbers, if I subtract this rational number, what will be the result? It is irrational. Almost I given you the answer. So real number is a combination of rational number and irrational number, right? So from that real number, if I subtract rational number, what will be my result? It is irrational number. So that is the answer. So these two questions alone you will post it in the mainstream. Got it, children? So thank you so much. Practice well all these questions. You just write it in your classwork and have a own practice. Okay. Thank you, children. Have a great day.